Hello, my name is Raewyn Jones and this is my third video log for the CELF program. We've been asked this time to reflect on courageous conversations, and I just wanted to first start with a reflection on the CELF program itself as it's been going so far. There was a quote from Jacinda Singh at our last get together, and she said, "That which you are aware of you can manage and control, and that which you are not aware of controls you." And it reminded me of the concept of awareness and my language studies of learning Japanese. It always struck me that I thought I understood what was going on, and then if I learned a new phrase or a new word, all of a sudden I'd hear it everywhere, and I'd think to myself, how have I lived my life until now without knowing that word or phrase? It's everywhere. And the CELF program has been the same. We've learned about various things, starting with some personal values, some personal leadership styles and skills, learn about how we play out our role in a team and about communication. We looked at values and purpose and conflict, and each time we've had a topic, all of a sudden I've been aware of a whole lot of things about myself and about the way I manage things, and I've thought, how have I not seen it all along? How have I not been aware of that? So it's been, I think it's the CELF program, but it's made it quite a challenging year from that point of view, being aware of what's going on. And courageous conversations have been no different. All of a sudden we learn about courageous conversations, and there are lots to have. So I've got a couple, three actually, that I'd like to share. I'm aware that in a conversation I'm only one half of it, so they're not really my stories to tell, so I'll just share them generally in terms of the process and how it went. The first one's a conversation that wasn't particularly courageous and it didn't go particularly well. So thinking about the process and why it didn't go well, first of all, it wasn't planned. It was something that was worrying me, and I'd raised by email with someone and hadn't really received a very comprehensive response, so nothing was really dealt with. So from my point of view, it was still an issue. And I was in conversation with somebody, and the person I really wanted to speak to walked in the room, and so it was like an electric storm. All of a sudden there was this conversation that was not really very pretty going on, and the person felt fairly ambushed by it. I didn't have a plan, didn't have an outcome in mind. I just knew I was concerned about something. The tone wasn't right. I let emotion come into it, so the emotional tone wasn't right, and I didn't have my intention set as to what I really wanted to achieve. So it was entirely unsatisfactory communication, and it did open a door to some more meaningful communication later, but it really was a good lesson to me on how not to do it. One that went better more recently was a situation where it was a one-on-one conversation with somebody. There'd been a mismatch of expectations, and I'd been really disappointed by someone's behaviour and something that had happened at a meeting. And when we met, they said to me, "Am I missing something?" They couldn't see why I was quite so unhappy. And I said, "Yes, you are. Let's talk." And so in this case, we knew there was something that needed to be talked about. We planned to do that. I thought about it ahead of time. The other party therefore didn't feel ambushed. We planned a time and a place to meet and to talk, and I made sure that I listened first, so that was really important. The right time, the right location. We both knew we were there for a reason, because we wanted to work past this misunderstanding and to work better together in future. So we had an intention. It wasn't about who's going to win and who's going to lose, it was more about how do we move forward. So it was a future focused conversation. We started by establishing the facts as they saw them, and then the facts as I saw them, and we were able to see where things had gone wrong. So our understanding of a certain process had been different, and we were able to establish exactly what we could agree upon and what we could do going forward to make sure it didn't happen again. So that was a successful conversation from both of our points of view. And another communication that's been I think good lately is one that was between myself and a small group, where a group dynamic hadn't gone well for me or for them, for anyone really. It was a meeting that hadn't really produced any positive result or outcome for anybody. And what went well for me was I took the time, in this case a whole month, to really think about, get past feeling angry about what had happened, and to think about, well, what could I have done to make that go differently? What was my part in what went wrong? And if I'd presented things differently, how could things have not dissolved to that state? So I went into this particular meeting with a plan. I'd even written it out ahead of time, and I'd had a discussion with some other people, so they knew that was going to happen. And I think it was a positive conversation. We were clear about what actions and outcomes again we wanted to achieve, and it was a very future focused conversation. No blame, no trying to point fingers at anyone, but really just trying to work out what could we do, what different process could we use to make sure that we have more positive outcomes in the future. So those are some of the lessons that I've been learning over the month, and I'm really looking forward to our residential coming up at the marae and seeing everyone again then. And I look forward to seeing your videos. Thank you.